Okay, I think we can move on. So this is one of the tap rooms that are going to be actually pretty fast. And today's topic is going to be about how to update StarWind Virtual SAN to the latest available version and avoid downtime. I wouldn't actually say this is avoiding because our updates, they don't really require downtime. So that's me. Not the best photo of me, although I am 100% sure everybody saw this banner, so we don't need to read through this one. That's again me. I'm now the director of support department and really like working in here. A quick overview of what we're going to look through today is basically the like step-by-step guidance on how to update StarWind Virtual SAN without any downtime. For some reason, I've chosen the ESXi, but it wouldn't differ at all. So nothing at all would. It doesn't matter you're using Hyper-V or VMware. The update procedure would look exactly the same. So let me quickly pull up the ESXi over here, and what you can see here is our StarWind virtual machine controller. This is the first one. We can see that all devices are synchronized, and this is actually important, is to have all your devices synchronized before you start the update procedure. Then we can look into here. The version we have is 8198, and what we'll have to do to prepare to the update is to close this, go here and exit from the console. When we exited from the console, we can start updating. So what we'll need is the executable file, which is available on our website, and you can download that on the customers page. Over here you can see that the file version is 9.6.11, and this is exactly the version we will see after we finish the update procedure in the console. So what we need to do is to double click to this executable, click yes, and we can close the file explorer now. We click next, we accept the license agreement, then we click again next. This is the default path. In case you have your StarWind installed somewhere else, you can change it to the place that you have initially installed it. If you use default, then you again click next. Now over here you can specify what exactly would you like to update, and I'll just go for the full one. Again, specify something else if you have it installed in the other place. Then we click next again, create a desktop icon, it will replace this one, and install. It asks me, do I want the newer version of SMIS? I would say, why not? What it will do, it will stop the service for me, and it will also ask you whether it needs to stop the VSS provider service if you have it running. So if you do, ask it to close all the applications it needs automatically. If you don't, you won't see that step at all. So this is the update procedure. It also actually happens pretty fast. And it's starting the service back, installing newer version of SMIS agent. It will also ask me whether I want to configure it or not right now, and I don't. But if you do, you can click yes and configure SMIS. Just in case, we can click through these virtual machines and see that they reside For example, this one maybe. Oh, we can actually do it this way. We can go into configuration to the storage and see that StarWind devices are alive and it's all good. So there's no downtime. Yeah, right now it asks me whether I want to configure the SMS agent, and I don't. Okay, and I ask it to launch the management console for me. I will pull it up and connect to the servers. What you need to do is to let your devices synchronize, but because we have stopped the service cleanly, these devices ran through a fast sync, and we didn't really see the synchronization process at all because it took about 1 second per device. So the update process did actually last longer than devices did synchronize. So we don't see that at all. When we confirm that all our devices are synchronized, we can go ahead and move to the second node. But before, let's double check it really did update it. And as we can see over here, the number is the same as was on the file on the executable one, which is 9611. So we can close this console and leave this node alone. Let's go to the second StarWind box. Ooh. Let me pull this up and guest, yeah, okay. I need to type in my password. And what language am I typing in? Yeah, the correct one. Perfect. We don't need console for the update. So again, now we go into the StarWind Management Console. We click on it. We will now have it appear in the tray. Hello? Can you open the console for me, please? Okay, let's try doing it the other way, since we don't have a desktop icon for it. Let's go into the C drive and to the program files. And to the StarWind folder. Over here we should have our console. Oh, there it is. Okay. So we connect to the first server. For some reason it takes a lot more time on this box to do things for this virtual machine than on the other one. And of course, this one does not exist. Cool, but actually either way, we don't really need to connect to the partner host. I can do that, but there's no reason for it, because if these devices were not synchronized, we would have it indicate on the partner host as well. So we are sure they are synchronized, and we also checked that on the first box. The only thing we'll need to do in this console before running in the updates is to double check the version, and the version is outdated. So what we do is we close it, then we close it over here, then we double check that this is the version we want to update to, and it is. We double click on the executable and do the same exact thing we did for the first one. We just run through the same wizard. So we click next, we accept the agreement, next, next. Yes, and the installation is started. Okay, started the installation. Let's double check whether our storage is still available, and it is. It is here, and everybody's happy. As soon as this installation will be finished, we'll have our both StarWind nodes updated, and that is basically it. This is how the update is done without a downtime. I would say while we are waiting for this to actually happen, if you have any questions at all, feel free to ask me. I would actually, you could migrate the VMs in case you assume something goes wrong, but if I was doing update on my system, I would not move them, because there is no reason for that, because the storage will 100% stay there. And I'm sorry, the question was, do you migrate VMs off the node you are upgrading before you run the installer, or do you leave the VMs running on the host being upgraded? I would leave them. Oh, you sure can skip the versions, because right now we were doing an update of 8.198, and the build we are updating to is the fourth one since then. So we've skipped like 3 versions or so. Yes, you can 100% do that. Also on our knowledge base, there is a nice diagram which shows from which build to which you can upgrade, and if there is something that needs to be done for that upgrade besides what I just showed, it is mentioned in there. James, great question. I'm using hyper-converged with Hyper-V. Is there any difference in that scenario where the StarWind hosts are the physical hosts? No, there's no difference at all. And like, you can consider these are physical hosts because first virtual machine runs on first physical host, and it is on its local storage. The second one runs on second physical host, and it's on its local storage. The only difference is that we have, Windows inside a VM, and if we could have Windows inside a ESXi host simultaneously with the ESXi, we would do that. But as an answer to your questions, no. Like it would be the exact same thing you just saw. This update actually takes a while for some reason, but I guess it's doing what it's need to do. In case you actually have any other questions just off the topic, but not too huge ones, the one that would take hours to reply to, you can go ahead and ask those, because it looks like we're going to be here for at least 10 minutes while this finishes. No questions at all? Interesting. Great question from James. Is there anywhere I can see L1 cache performance in the console, hit rate, etc.? There is no such place right now, but in about a month we are going to release like a part of our console which is going to be called Cache Manager, which will have all that statistics, and you will be able to configure the caching right through that manager, and all that can be done on the fly. It can be done on the fly right now as well, but right now you need to change some files, and then you will, just do 2 clicks and it will happen. So it's an awesome question. Thank you. What do you mean by faster recovery after power loss? You mean the the full synchronization process that we have upon a power outage? You mean if your single sandbox goes down or both of them? When they both go down, what will happen is they will come up and not synchronized on both sides. You would have to manually specify which side has the most recent data. You would mark as synchronized devices that have the most recent data, and they would be used as a synchronization source for partner devices. And while partner devices are synchronizing, devices that were marked as synchronized will become available to the cluster, and your production should be able to work with no issues. In case there are some performance issues due to synchronization, we have another thing in our management console that I can show you on this virtual machine. Come on. Oh, actually, the service here is already up as well. Cool. Although the installation process did not finish yet. Yeah, that's funny. So you can right click on your device the one that has like huge amount of virtual machines like reside on it. And if you'd like your virtual machines to work faster, because synchronization process eats up some storage resources, you can just right click, go into synchronization priority, and move this towards faster client request processing, and it will add much more performance to your VMs, but will make the synchronization longer. And in order for that to start working, you'd need to change this priority for both devices. If you want this exact storage that is attached to a target DS1 become faster for clients during the synchronization process, you would have to change the priority on this device and its partner as well. Actually, since we are here and we can talk, what other things would you like us to show you on our future tap rooms? Do you have something in mind that you would like to see? So, another good question from James. What is the best practice for heartbeat networks? Same channels as the sync or out of band or both? Well, you actually cannot configure synchronization channels for the heartbeat, and our console does not provide you with such option because the heartbeat channel is already integrated in the synchronization one. So whenever you specify a channel to work as a synchronization channel, it would also become heartbeat automatically. The best practice for that is to actually assign a heartbeat on any available networking that you have between StarWind 1 and 2, or like StarWind 1, 2, 3, so on. So how we usually do is we usually have two synchronization channels for redundancy, and other two iSCSI channels, again for redundancy, and we do assign heartbeat on those. And then you would usually have a management link for like virtual machine networking, for backups, for just to remote desktop into your system, and we would assign a heartbeat on that channel as well. So basically the best practice is to assign heartbeat on each available network link that you have in your StarWind box. God, this virtual machine takes ages to update. I'm not sure why is that happening, but it seems to be working perfectly. I'm not sure actually whether we have to wait for this thing to finish. What do you guys think? Because as we can see from the first box, StarWind service is working totally fine. Devices are synchronized and, everything keeps running. Here's our storage. Everybody is happy. What it's working on is the SMS agent. Okay, well anyway, wait, I just thought of it. We have to finish this. Okay guys, people actually are starting to leave. The only thing it's going to update is the SMIS agent, and looks like it's going to take ages. I'm sure it's going to finish, but the most important part is the production part, and we can see that all devices are synchronized. The storage is available, so it works and does not require any downtime for that, for the update. Uh, what I wanted to tell you is that, yeah, the questions we've been through. I wanted to say thank you very much for coming to the tap rooms. Because of you coming here, this is actually like why we are doing this. Please let us know if there's anything you would like to see, or you know, anything you would like to see, something that we could do for you, or if you'd like us to change the format of all this, we will 100% think of it. And in case you need any contact information, here it is on your screens. And I want to wish you a great upcoming weekend. And again, thank you very much for coming. Bye bye.